on the 77 today, but I came out thinking we were going to do some electrical wiring, trying to get this thing to idle by itself. And my grandfather was like, hey, let's just pull it in the front yard so you don't have to walk through 9 million miles of woods. So currently trying to get tractors all ready. We're trying to get some air and some tires because two of the tires are good, two of them are flat. So we'll get some air in some of these used tires and then slap them on there and see if we can bring it around the front. All right, here it is in all its glory. Got the rear wheels off. That's the only tire that's flat. It looks like it's in the ground, but it's just flat. But yeah. Just put the two back tires on it. We'll jack up the front end and get this thing out of here. Well, let's see if we can get this jack up underneath here. If this jack, see if the jack's gonna do some jack stand things. Sometimes these things don't have any kind of fluid in them. Makes it a little bit harder. They don't work. They don't work quite as good whenever they don't have fluid in them. See. Nice. Use it for future dents. Okay. That's not gonna work because you gotta put this here tire on. Yeah. So I don't know if I've told the exact 100% story of this truck before. How this truck came about was it was my dad's pickup. Whenever he was in high school, it was the first truck that he ever drove, and he put some work into this truck just to kind of make it a little bit better. But had to redo the cam, so or the head. I think it was actually not a cam. It was a piston. They had to redo. So whenever they did that, they went ahead and put a little bit different cam in it. Maybe 10% better. Whenever they did that, they did some more work. And you know, dad being dad, he did some body work to it because that's what he was going to go into. He was getting into body work, going into trade school, and then whenever it came time to go to trade school, he realized that he was going to be driving from Prague to Okmulgee. So he thought to himself, you know, maybe I shouldn't get 14 miles per gallon driving back and forth that far. So he sold this truck back to his parents, my grandparents, and bought himself a little Toyota pickup so that he could get better gas mileage. And so is what I'm told. My grandmother actually drove this truck more so than anyone else in the family, and she drove it for several years until the transmission went out in it. So Grandpa took the transmission out of it, and it sat here. So lucky he didn't sell the pickup whenever the transmission went bad in it. But for whatever reason, he kept it. And yep, we're getting it. I got it jacked up good enough. So I got it jacked up good enough. But we kept pickup sat here for about 35 years. So now we're trying to reverse all that. So I want you guys to tell me which you think is safer. Using that style of jack. For those of you who don't know, there's a reason it's called a headache jack or missing teeth jack or whatever you want to, whatever era you were born in. So it's called either that or what we got going on here. I mean, you know, I test my luck with this as opposed to that. The whole reason I'm doing this, I got both tires, back tires, got them both back on. Previously, we used the hydraulic lift on not this tractor, but different other tractor that's not here right now, and put this little side cart thing underneath it to jack the back end up when we're working on the rear end. We don't need this anymore. This go shoot. We don't need it, so we're gonna take that out and we're deleting, getting rid of that. And we determined that the rear end is still slightly good. Could be worse. But, yeah. So, in lieu of propping up ridiculous heavy things underneath it, we can set it down on the ground now. So, slightly slow. Please not all at once. There we go. Yeah. See? Now, self-collapsing. It all works out in the end. We didn't want it to, we didn't, previously, you know, we don't want it to collapse when we're jacking it down, but at the end, whenever your contraption is taller than what the truck wants to sit on the ground, self-collapsing method is preferred to anything else. So back on the ground again for the first time in about a year. This is the first time in about a year that I've had any free time to get out here to do this, and we're pulling around front, so it's pretty cool. So I just wanted to show you guys something. There's a video. I think it was my second video I uploaded. It hasn't been uploaded yet, but hopefully by the time this video is uploaded, it will be. That I showed you guys how to jack up a modern day car. So we still need to get one more wheel on this thing, the flat one. We'll switch it out really. But on older vehicles, instead of having the little indents where you put the jack underneath, you can crawl up underneath here and you find your frame rail. The frame rail is going to be a beefy looking thing that connects, it runs the whole length of the vehicle. So if, I don't know that you can see it very well, but that goes all the way back versus like this guy right here. That's your lower control arm. You don't want to be pushing on that. It's not going to do a whole lot anyway. It's just going to move. But look for that, and that's what you press up on these older vehicles. So this truck came with automatic identifiers. Both of those cattle guard, brush guard things. I don't know really what they were used for, but they're sure were on a bunch of these older vehicles. But that goes right in. No, they're not connected to the frame, so you don't want to be pushing on them. But as you can see, I have it set up right here. That's where the frame rail is, where that one's connected to. So that's where you want to be jacking up on, right there. So, all right, y'all tell me when it gets high enough to lift the tire off the ground. I think the jack's just sinking in the ground. Maybe not. Maybe here in a second we'll hit solid. So it's going to be super nice to get this thing in the front yard. Have to crawl around on the dirt. Worry about getting quite as many ticks and mosquitoes. There's some popping and crunching. All right, that's as far as the jack will go up. So tires off the ground, but let's hope that that is enough to get the new tire underneath it. All right, let's get that tire on. Just gotta let down. See what we're at. All right, 4 tires on the ground. All of them have air. Thank goodness. That wheel's locked up now. That wasn't locked up a year ago, but it's not moving now. So we'll see if that proves difficult or if we'll be able to get this out of here fairly easily. All right, we're making our way back here. We got all 4 tires on. We've eaten lunch. We got a spot cleared out in the front yard for it. So this is the first time in like 30 something years that this truck is going to be making its appearance out of the wooded area back here. You can see it back there in the trees, but we're back here toward the back of the property. I'm just going to go up this little creek bed and down through there and pull it out. So, but it's got a good stance to it. Now that it's up out of the dirt. Whenever I first found this truck, a couple of years ago, or I always knew it was here, but whenever I started working on it, it was sitting right there in this hole. That's where the front tires used to be, was right there in that hole. And it was the side of the mirror was grown into that tree. So we'll see. We're gonna get it out. Alright, here we go. Make sure it pops out. That front tire went down since we put it on there. Make sure. Oh yeah. Yeah. Alright, so we've got it out of from over there. He had to go around the circle to get back on that side, but we've got it rolled up to this point, so I'm gonna just set y'all up in the cab with me so you can kind of see what we're doing as we go along. All right, she made it. Well, that concludes this day's project on the old 77. Finally got it. We got it up to the house, so we're not gonna have to lay down in the ticks and the leaves and all that kind of stuff. Now, didn't get to do what I thought we were gonna set out to do today, but we wound up being a whole lot better. So everything's gonna be a lot easier and better now. so we don't have to worry about fighting all the animals and all the brush that's been grown up around that truck and all that kind of junk. So pretty excited about it. Next time, I think that we get to work on it. We'll probably work on the electrical, which is not super duper excited about, but I would like to get the keys work because a couple of months ago, well, this is back before Christmas, but I was able to rekey the truck because the keys got lost. So the truck has been rekeyed, so I'd like to get it to where the keys do something, whether that's just being able to turn over or being able to get it to where we can even get to idle by itself or something along those lines. So that's the venture for that was going to be the venture for today, but that's going to be the venture for next time. So definitely going to put some more effort into that. And also, before we sign off on this video, just wanted to update you guys about King of the Open Road. I've decided that due to the fact that I'm not going to be able to have tires before that event, me and my wife, we're still going to go on the cruise that's associated with that event, and I also signed up to do the test and tune, but I will not be participating in the actual bracket racing and doing timed stuff like for competition. I'm just going to be doing everything for fun and going on the cruise and hanging out and getting to spend time with my wife. So it's still going to be a great event. Really look forward to it. Still going to record, take you guys along on all that stuff, but it's not going to be quite as we're not going to be doing anything competitively because the Challenger's not dialed in and ready to go. I don't have the correct tires to be racing with it and all that kind of stuff. So, but anyway, regardless, it's going to be a great event. Did get signed up and registered for it, so I will be there. We'll be taking advantage of that to get some recording done and to have some more fun. So, but that does it for this video with the 77. Hopefully, it won't be too much longer before we have another video on the 77. I like working on it. Lots of work to be done still. I do think I have a transmission tracked down for it, so hopefully the next couple of videos will be putting a transmission into that vehicle. So we'll see. We'll see what time tells us. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.